$30,000, and family counseling at $22,500. And the family counseling, we may wind up transferring to something else because evidently we're not going to be able to make that happen. So that's kind of a rundown of what we have available. So today, 249,571 restricted, 142, 135 out of the unrestricted. And now we passed through the sheriff, through the council, we passed them through the commissioners so that you could come and ask for this grant today. So if you want to come on up and share your story.
And this grant will come from the unrestricted funds.
That's the plan, I think.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Jim.
I'll-
I don't know what it is. Yeah, so to Sue Ann's point, we went before both commissioners and council, got approval to apply for the grant with you folks. And it has to do with the body scanner. I think you guys have all heard our spiel on body scanner and why we feel it's important. The one that we replaced was from 2018. And at the time, that was cream of the crop, best there was out there. But like anything technology wise, it gets passed and there's something better out there. And with artificial intelligence being so prevalent like it is, the one that we decided to go with, it has AI incorporated into it. Thank you. And it takes a lot of the assuming and lack of knowledge on the human anatomy and body out of my, I'll just be honest, 18, 19-year-old jail staff. You know, they get hired in to be jailers and to take care of the inmates and that sort of thing, not necessarily know what the body is supposed to be doing and that sort of thing. And with that machine that we had, it was just awfully difficult if that wasn't what you did day in and day out, to know exactly that something abnormal wise was in a body, where AI does a lot of that work for you. And to Kevin's point, as he's mentioned in a couple of his presentations, it's always learning. So as this machine will learn new things and new tricks where people are trying to smuggle contraband into jails, it now knows to mark that as something, hey, you might want to look at this. And I intentionally wanted to see it used prior to us even coming before you today. We had to wait on getting it licensed and get it registered before you can even get it up and running and use it. That is completed. Ran an employee through it yesterday, and it was pretty remarkable what it can do. It's all on mirrored images. You have to have your feet the same way, your hands the same way on the handrails on this as it slides you through the instrument. And if you have one hand like this and the other one over top, the AI is so intelligent, it's going to mark that as something's different between the two. To give you an idea on how intelligent it is. And it's telling the staff, like, you might want to check this area, that area, and so on and so forth. It's instrumental to what we're trying to do and keep those negative things out of the jail. Our staff does a great job. We have the body cameras now. We didn't necessarily before I took office. We now have a K9 that's back there. And if nothing else, it serves as a really good deterrent. It makes someone think twice about bringing something in, but that doesn't say that people aren't still trying to do it. And they're doing it in clever ways on you can use your imagination on how they're trying to bring it in their body, and their undergarments, so on and so forth. So very pleased with what I've seen so far. We were adamant that we needed to purchase this, so much to the point where we took funds out of our commissary and put a third of it down the end of last year, because we got information from this company that their price points were going to be changing after the first of the year. We wanted to make sure we secured the lesser funding price point, if you will. So we did that to make sure that we could still get the cheaper end. We did apply for a K-21 grant. We were unsuccessful in that. So still we still had a remaining balance of $115,000. We thought, well, we have the opioid funds out there. Don't know if it's a fit or not. Obviously, we thought it was. So that's kind of what's brought us here before you today. But if you have any further questions regarding the instrument and Kevin's thoughts on it or whatever, that's why he's here. You seem to be pretty gung ho on it.
Is
and
there,
excited
is there
about it, so.
software updates and stuff that will need to be done?
So it'll be hooked to the internet through a secure internet thing that the IT sets up with the company, and it will have updates. How often, I don't know. He just told us that they will remote in and be able to update it. If we have an issue or a question, a service person can remote in and actually be on the phone with us and be on the computer in front of us trying to walk us through whatever the repairs.
And is that a subscription type fee or anything? So
It's an annual residual fee, just like the last one was 12,500. What's this one? I'm sorry.
19.5.
This one's 19.5.
No, the old one was
Went
19.
up to 19.5.
The new one is 12.5.
Okay, I
Yeah.
misspoke. I apologize.
So it's actually cheaper.
is there any idea on the lifespan of a piece like this?
It's probably anyone's guess. I mean, I'm sure, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, 5 years from now, there'll be,
Something.
we're sitting here thinking like this is the best, just like we did in 2018, and there's probably going to be something else out there. Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? I don't know. But I think that's just the world we live in on anything.
And this
probably.
company services and stuff too. If
That's
it's
right.
Something mechanical would,
Exactly right. Yeah, and they even come in and boxed up the old one and then, installed this one and spent the amount of time that was necessary to make sure, train the trainer type, make sure our staff understood it. Kevin's appointed 2 people back in the jail that's part of their job now, is to be the liaisons for that body scanner and to make sure the rest of our staff is trained on it. Something I forgot to mention, which I find pretty interesting, and I think that you guys will also, because we have repeat offenders. When somebody comes in and they have their scan done, they're going to be issued an ID number, part of their booking process. When that person, hopefully they never come back, right? But historically, that's, some of them will come back. We'll be able to compare the new scan to the old scan, and they'll be able to bring those images up. We have never been able to do that before. So you're not just comparing it with everyone else, you're actually comparing it to their own scan.
Right.
Like, it's funny, you didn't have that the last time you were here, and now, you know what I mean? Another
Yeah.
normal, just another tool. And it's pretty incredible where technology's taken us.
The element of surprise works well.
It is, for sure.
On the software updates you talked about, does it shut the scanner down for a certain period of time when they do that to where you can't use it?
When they remote in, I believe it does shut it down for a short time. And from my understanding, from what he explained, it doesn't take very long.
5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does shut itself down to protect itself. If there is not use, it will shut itself down to the point if it's not used, which it would never happen. Within 7 days, it completely shuts off to protect itself. But it goes through a cycle, and to tell you exactly what those hours and minutes and all that, I can't, but I know that it, like 7 days, it completely shuts off.
And every detainee that comes through the door goes to the body scanner.
Correct.
It hasn't always been the case, but it has been the last 3 years. We're proud of that. So, and obviously that will continue. And even if, like, I was just thinking back on your question, if it was something to where that's updating while we bring somebody in, I'm sure Kevin and his staff will have that person's packet marked that they haven't been through it yet because of that, and prior to them getting released, we'll make sure that they get through. So.
Do you have any questions?
No, I really don't. I've listened to their spiel a couple.
Yeah, I was like, well, I know they have all heard it at one
Yeah.
point. I don't want to sit there and bore you with it, but obviously we're passionate about it. And certainly we feel it's needed, and so.
I'm looking at it as much from the liability standard as any other piece of this puzzle.
You're exactly right.
Because somebody walks in with that and it gets spread around to other folks.
Mhm.
And then you got a whole bunch of people that are incapacitated one way or the other.
That's right.
That leaves a whole lot of liability on.
It sure does, because the buck stops with us,
Yeah.
right? Because it's our jail, so.
Plus, that is the purpose of this money. is anything related to drugs.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think we're,
Cost of the machine itself. With one incident where we have liability in the jail, we pay for it 4 times over.
Yeah.
I mean, the cost of the machine is nothing compared to one.
yeah.
night in the jail. So, yes, it's a large number, but nothing compared to somebody sustained substantial injury from something being trafficked in the jail.
So thinking forward, should you maybe consider putting that on your list every 4 years, 5 years,
A body
to
scanner.
review, to see the status? And then we would kind of be prepared a bit ahead instead
Sure.
of,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the technology and the way that it's always
Yeah.
advancing. I think that's a good idea, and we can certainly do that.
because I think we would be very uncomfortable if we had it. And then for some reason, it wasn't working to the standard anymore.
Mhm.
And then we didn't have it. That would be, I
Sure.
think, more critical.
That's a good
Kind of
point.
like a strategic 5-year plan to
Yeah,
evaluate
yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, which might be a good idea for everything you do over there.
Well,
Just,
And, we do that with our vehicles.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
several other things. So that's,
Yeah.
it's more of the same.
big
so,
ticket stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, great.
Based on our resolution, this does fit the standards of the unrestricted funds. for
Yes.
The opioid money. One of the things that will caution anybody, you guys or anybody else that applies for it, is we never know when that money is coming in.
Mhm.
I mean, we could get a check for, who knows, tomorrow. We may not see another check for a year.
Mhm.
So it's not like it's coming in constantly. So when we reduce the balance, we reduce the ability to fund programs.
Sure.
So
Understood.
just want to keep that in mind.
And that has truly been the hardest part about this whole thing. Because
Not knowing.
we've
Yeah.
got some things set up for you guys that are having some pretty remarkable results.
Mhm.
And if we don't have the ability to continue them, that's going to be an issue. That's going to fall back to the council. That's going to cost taxpayers more money.
Sure.
And if we're able to use this money, and that is the intended purpose, is to try to turn around the opioids situation. So I don't know. Does anybody have any other questions?
I think based on what I heard today, I'll make a motion to approve the $115,000 out of the unrestricted opioid funds to pay off the balance of the body scanner.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I think that means I only have to raise my hand. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Kevin. Glad to see you
Thank
come
you.
join us today.
Thank you.
Kevin's-
That's right. Kevin's always got that optimistic smile on his face. Uh-huh.
Sunshine on a cloudy day.
He says. Good call.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is to consider the grant application. And obviously, this probably will not be the only time we would look at it and approve it, but I think you've both had it. I think I emailed it to you long enough that we can maybe at least approve it, and then we use it. And then when we see there are other things that don't need to be there or things that we can add, then we can make amendments
Yeah,
to
we
it.
can tweak as we
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
but I think what you sent to us and stuff fits what we were looking at and doing to begin with.
Yeah.
I think it answers the vast majority of our questions. But again, we may come up with something later in the process that we might need to change on it, but otherwise I'm happy with it. And I would make a motion that we approve this grant application, have it posted on the county's website, and then do a public notification that the application is available on the website for anybody interested in applying for opioid funds.
I'll second.
okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. So we have that one out of the way. Now, we want to get this to where we can get onto a schedule, so it's not hit and miss. If we set up a schedule, and then if we didn't have any money, no additional money, we simply say, there's no reason to meet because we don't have anything else we can give out.
Correct.
Is that a better approach, do you guys think? Or should we just, I hate making onesies and onesies because trying to squeeze those
Or if
into
you
your
have no
schedule.
requests.
Yeah,
You know,
If we have no request for no funds, I don't see any reason to have a meeting, but as,
but I think it should be scheduled in as some sort of regular thing. And then we see where we're at on funds and requests. And if there is none, then we can say, okay, we don't need that.
Sam and I had discussed having these meetings quarterly.
Sure.
I don't think they need to be monthly, but quarterly would be plenty. They'll give people time to put the applications in, give us time to review them all.
Yeah, I agree.
so what would you think if we tried to set a meeting for May 21st at 8:30 in the morning? That's a Thursday. We tried to set a meeting for that day, the people would have ample time to get an application into us now for the next round of consideration. So then if we said the applications had to be in a week before that, that'd get us back to May 14th. Then we would be in a position to look at what money we've got, the 249, 571.94, and the 142, 135 less the 115. Does that seem to make sense? And then we can look at where we're at. So then we'd be to June. So then if we set it up quarterly, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Would that not
Yeah.
suffice? Okay.
So if we set it for the 21st and applications due by the 14th, that still gives them almost 4 full weeks to get the application done. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think the app is hard. And I mean, you know, we don't want to put a disclaimer on it so you don't have to answer it, but I mean, some of it may not pertain to what they're doing. So an NA may be real appropriate. I just think if we can get this perfected to where we're operating like a machine instead of just doing nothing, waiting on money to come, I think that's a better approach for us.
And I think with that, you know, people fill out applications all the time, send them in, and don't always send somebody to the meeting to discuss the
yeah.
application, so they turn down, so they would have to have somebody present at the
I
meeting
was
too.
just gonna say,
Yeah.
that. I like the fact that we hear it from. the
Yes,
horse's mouth.
absolutely. Okay, so if we make May 21st our next meeting, applications due by the 14th of May. And then we'll get the quarterly figured out, trying to hit that same, maybe that same Thursday
Yeah.
of the month. Because sometimes struggling to get into this room becomes a challenge. That's why I think also if we got it settled, then we could certainly
Get
be
on the
moving
calendar
on.
ahead of time.
Yeah,
If there ever does become a conflict, I mean, we can always use the
Yes.
video conference room across the hall if it's not used. Okay, so 8:30 is okay. Would anybody entertain 8 o'clock? Yeah, I'm fine with 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Fine with 8 o'clock.
Marcia, we're splitting that with you. Okay. Sorry.
8 o'clock, great with me.
Okay, if everybody is satisfied with that, does anybody have any other questions, thoughts? Anything else we need to hash over? And we will make every effort to get this into the newspaper so that all those people out there, I do have a few emails of groups that have applied for stuff in the past or have attended meetings even in the past. I mean, we take what we take and we can only do so much with
Get it
$250,000.
publicized. The biggest thing is how quick can we turn around and get it on the county website.
Well, and I think that should be, yeah. So,
But it won't be a PDF fill, but will just be a PDF they can print out, correct?
If you send me this,
I think I did.
okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you made any changes
No,
to it.
no, this one, this is the same as what I sent
Okay,
you the
so
other
we
day.
can probably change it to a fillable and get it on the website.
Perfect.
And then you're gonna do some kind of press release.
I'll get a hold of
I'm
David.
gonna advertise the meeting.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, if you get all the other meetings scheduled, then we can just advertise those all one time and be done with it.
Sounds good.
And I can probably finish out the rest of them before you make the ad for
That would
this
be
one.
great.
Yeah.
Then that way we don't inadvertently forget to advertise something.
I'll make that a priority today
Okay,
on my to-do list. Okay, anything else? Will, thank you for being here. I'm sure this has been most educational for you. Besides that, you're up and moving, so.
You got any input?
no, I don't. Is that the meeting?
Great, great.
Will, any input while you're here?
Good to me, because logistically, it goes forward the meetings, that doesn't make sense. Having a standing meeting where you can say, hey, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And we'll cancel it, at least get someone on calendar.
Kind of like we do with the ARPA.
And the other thing is we could all be praying that we get more money.
Yeah.
Soon. That last thing, that could generate 809